room for my knuckles here in the handle loop, and I'm not real happy with how symmetric those blades turned out to be. So
I think it's a good idea to be able to scoop with them, Steve.
yeah, so I'm going to be trying to come up with, yeah, I like that. One of the design goals was, in fact, that being able to get down here and scrape on the grill grates, but I don't think that that's a real pretty shape, and I'm going to be trying to invent some other way to do that. I'll be inventing right here in front of you. Set these back down without making those things go off. Okay, so get started here. And no, I don't. And in the interest of getting this done, I'm going to use a power hammer when it comes time to drawing things out. I like to do things. I like to show how things can be done without power hammer, but I'm not as enthusiastic as I used to be about drawing long tapers by hand either. Maybe could get David to come up here with his big hammer. I'm sure he could knock it out real quick.
You'll hold it, I'll hit it.
I don't think I brought tongs that long. Might help if I turned up some heat here, huh? Oh, Smith and Magician. I own. I think I have 3 different Smith and Magicians by now. This happens to be the one that we made in a workshop here several years ago, and yep, says Athens Forge 2014 was when we did that workshop. And these are just they come with a die that uses 3/4 by 2 bar, and I've got this one cut off to be a real short little one-sided butcher. Mostly, I think the other dies I have are all different radii. You guys are trying to get me to make a sparkler here while I'm talking. So this will be a chance to demonstrate how this thing works. I just want to neck this down and get a little short piece that's going to become a rivet. Yeah, it's probably good enough. Get my little measuring tool out here. And, oh yeah, that's thinner than I needed. So set that down somewhere. Get that out of the way. Find a better hammer. There it is. Okay, it's my, right here, I guess is where I'm supposed to put that. My rivet is square right now. I'm going to make it round. See, this is kind of a 2 for the price of 1 demo. You find out how to make something useful like a rivet, and then I'll show you what you can use the rivet for. Okay, so now my rivet is mostly round, and I have this very strangely proportioned tool because I built this thing. I think I'd been doing this for less than a year when I decided I needed these, and I don't really need big bars of steel that tall, but it's got nice little round holes in it for rounding off my tenon rivet. Oops. And pick the hole. Okay. And now got a hot cut here, and we're just gonna put a mark on it. It's kind of fun to get to use a coal fire. I haven't had my coal forge at home since 2017. I realized that I could see the floor of my shop through the top of the coal forge, and that was about the time I was moving to the new shop, and I'm hoping to build a chimney in the new shop maybe this year. So there, take that out, get my little bolster here. That's just a flat bar with a 1/4-inch hole in it, mounted on a stick that fits in the hardy, and we'd like to get that hot again because I'm going to upset the head. I'm sorry, I'm forgetting that you're trying to take a picture here. You all right?
I'm working around.
There we go. Put that in the hole. Break that piece off. Flatten that out a little bit. Set that aside. Get a pair of tongs. And if I've been good, that rivet would pop right out of there. Ah, there we go. Okay. That's the way it goes. So there I've got a rivet, and we'll just set that aside. I'm putting it right here in this little pan so that I'll remember where it is, and y'all can tell me where it is when I get to where I need it. This?
Yes, put that up on there. And what you need to display is those round rods on the sides of it. Keep your eyes on it.
Yeah, the idea is to just so that it won't want to see if I go the wrong way. I can do that. I am really not all the way sure how important those are, but 20 years ago when I made this thing, half the tools I'd seen down at Tannehill were like that, so obviously that was the way they were supposed to be made.
I don't think I've ever seen one. And that keeps your dies from going around.
Yeah, yeah. I think every once in a while that if I just made another set of dies for the Smith & Magician, I'd probably have a better tool. Or I could just make a much shorter version of that one, you know, where the dies are only about that thick, that would, I could use it under the power hammer. Okay, so, well, that thing's cool by now. So, I'm going to cool this off. You know, one thing the audience really likes during a demonstration is to see a sparkler. Another thing that goes over really well is if I burn myself, but I try not to do that. So it's uncomfortable for me and causes interesting comments when I get home. So that's about the middle of my bar. And we'll just make a mark right there. Might even be able to find that mark again. One thing I've discovered about making the mark easier to find when it comes back out of the fire is that if you remember which way you set the thing in the fire, you only have to look at one side of the bar. And I've already lost it. There it is. They don't what?
You don't trust the forging hammer to cut things, right?
Actually, I use the forging hammer more often than not, but I'm risking hitting Travis's Hardy. Well, the Hardy that I use most of the time is a cut-off splitting wedge, and again, I was making some of these tools 20 or more years ago, and it never really occurred to me at the time that it was heat treated or needed to be heat treated, and by the time I got done welding, it definitely was not heat treated. So I solved the problem by hitting it when I hit it and grinding it off when I need to. And by now we really need tongs. Really need bigger tongs. Now I've got to find that mark again. There it is. It's good to drop everything every now and then. There. And now, I said when I started that I just kind of came up with this idea Thursday afternoon and went out to the shop and did it. I think most of the time I have at least sketches with a few dimensions on it when I start to make something. In this case, I just had this notion and went out there and started building stuff. So next thing I'm going to do, I've got a little bit ahead of myself. What I was about to say is that where the hole winds up on these things, at least at this point, is kind of just going to be by eye, and I'll at least try to make them come out the same. By the way, can you see down here on the anvil how close to the same length I managed to make those two things? I'm real happy with myself. I did that. I didn't break out a ruler, and they're close. Yeah, they're both hot too. So the next step before I try to figure out where the hole goes is that I'm just going to turn both of these into flat bar. There's when Bob Taylor did a copper class for us quite a few years ago now, and I think it was the Roycroft Guild. he talked about having this idea that no side of the workpiece should not get touched by the craftsman at some point. And one of the things that I think is really neat when we're forging is when the piece that we make has no dimension that is the same as the bar we started with. So I figure if I finish a project and there's not a single dimension on that thing that is the same as the dimension on the bar I started with, I definitely forged every single spot on there. Oh, there. When I'm done making that bar flat, I'm getting roughly 1/4 inch thick by somewhere between 3/8 and 1/2 wide. And it really is a lot of fun to do a project without a sketch, no drawing, no engineering went into this before I started, and all the dimensions turn out to be kind of whatever they turn out to be, and they're right because they look right while I'm going along. I've been doing, when I showed this picture on Facebook, I said that it was a nice break. I'm getting ready for the Blade Symposium. I've been making little black coffin handles and a Samuel Bell knife, and you may not realize how nice this is to build something that is done when I'm done forging. You know, like takes what an hour to forge out a blade, maybe a little more than that with something really big like buoy number 1. And then you grind and you sand and you cut out some more pieces of wood and you make some little rivets, and 40 hours later you're kind of trying to remember when you started. What is it? What's that? Blade Symposium I talked about. It's about 2 weeks away. Starts on April 2nd and runs through morning that following Sunday. Yeah, get over there. How close did I get? Look at that. Still just about the same length. So I have to pick a place somewhere in about the middle of that bar where I'm going to make the hole. Here. There, oh good. What's that? Yeah. I think about I'm not really concerned about putting this hole exactly in the center or even close to it, because I'm going to draw out both ends, and the long end is going to become the handle and the short end is going to become the jaws. But I would like to start with them in the same place. Probably going to need somebody to at least hold a pair of tongs here in a little bit. It's the way. Oh, we're not going to do it that way. Okay. Yeah, I'm deciding what I want here. That'll work. Okay. There. This one to the side. Just eyeball. Oh, when I cut the bar, I balanced on my hand. Right here, I just looked at it. Yeah. Hotter, hotter. Batsons this year, Jim's kind of added an extra day on the front of the program, where Rick Furrer from up in Door County, Wisconsin, is going to come down and build a furnace and start with iron ore and make steel, and then by the time of the auction Saturday evening, he's supposed to have a dagger finish, starting out with, I'm not sure if this is the official term, but I keep calling it dirt to dagger. Um, the flyer in the bits makes it. I didn't realize when I wrote the flyer in the bits, John. Just hold those wherever I can. There we go. Get my hole on the anvil here at least. Okay, flip it over, and try to find my spot. There. Flip over. And I'm starting to make. We'll go back to the fire with those, but I'm starting to make myself nervous here. Here we go.
Where you want to go?
I want to
Heat it up.
Yeah, hotter now. But anyway, that first day of watching Rick smelt iron is going to be an extra $20 on top of the conference fee. That's the piece of information that I managed to leave out of the flyer when I put it in the bits. So everybody be warned.
Tell everybody that they can go Alford on board.
Yes, the registration form, all this information about the conference is on alforge.org. That's the website, and the Batson Symposium flyer is on there. Yes. Flip it over. Ooh, boy, I missed center on that one badly. There we go. Okay, flip it.
One more time, Steve.
I hope it's one more time. Almost. It's getting awfully close, isn't it?
Yep. Not quite.
Not quite. Got to adjust my tool here.
Through.
Yeah. I think we're going to go with that. Do the other one.
Okay.
What I'm using here, now that it's all banged up, I'll show it on camera. This is my slitting chisel. It's got a little pyramid-shaped point on there. And the ways that blacksmiths make holes has fascinated me since I got started. I think the first summer that I was part of this group, Bill and Mike had to spend most of the summer making slitting and drifting chisels. And I thought that was just so neat because, you know, how do you make a hole in a piece of steel? Well, you can drill it, you can mill it, you can bore it, you can cut it out with a torch or a plasma cutter. And in all of those techniques, whatever metal was in that hole is lost. It either drops out as a slug or becomes chips or whatever. Blacksmiths can either slit and drift or punch a hole, and in either case, all that metal that's in the middle of the hole when you start gets pushed out to the side, makes a little bulge in the bar, and I just think that's the neatest thing. Find the mark again. There it is.
So you know where you're going?
Yeah, pretty sure I do.
Guide me.
Right there.
I got it.
Flip it. Okay. Good boy.
Back this way.
How nice if it was centered, huh?
Move the center. That's all you do.
Okay. the way this,
Once you heat it up.
yeah, the way this is going is why. Oh, that wasn't even in the right place. It's okay. Well, we'll make another. Yeah. We'll start over another heat. Little moments like this are why, whenever I demonstrate, I bring a finished piece that can go in the iron in the hat, because it's really bad when you spend 2 hours demonstrating and have to explain that. Well, thanks for watching, everybody. Hope you enjoyed the shower of sparks.
Were you here when Josh was trying to do the powder metal canister Damascus?
Oh yeah,
Failed twice.
yeah. The bearings all just.
I got the how.
Yeah. I'm making sure I still know where the piece is this time.
Find it? Let's see it.
Yeah, I can see where we were. The problem is that where we were supposed to be is up here. Yeah. All the metal we started with is still there, right? Okay, I had it a minute ago. Where's my other piece? Should be right there. There it is. There it is. Hold that. Yeah.
A real big grip on it,
Okay, flip it over. Let's get it hot again.
Yeah, you need it.
You can't see it.
It's going to drop off on you, Stephen.
Yeah. So maybe the lesson here is that when you make your mark, you make it really good and deep. And I think the last time when I demonstrated my little pass-through trivet here, I had just made a real small drill all the way through the bar where I wanted the hole. That is really hard to miss.
What'd you make the slitter out of?
This is S7, I think. I've been working on my, gradually working on my punch and slitter collection. The goal is to get up to something like a drill index goes every 16th up to a half, and then every 8th up to about an inch. And
Consider using H13 for that?
yeah, but I didn't have any the day I made it.
Got what you got.
Yeah, there we go.
You know where you're going, that's all.
I
that
do.
matters.
This time. Flip it over.
Got it?
Yep. Okay. Okay. I believe we're just about there. Yeah, we'll take that.
You got it open?
Yeah, I think so.
Hit it one more time, Stephen.
That'll work. All right, set those aside. Now, ordinarily, if I'm demonstrating how to make a hole, I would just go ahead and drift that hole open. However, if I go ahead and drift that hole open, I still have to draw out this end, draw out this end, and if I do that with the hole already open, I'm just going to come back and have to open up my hole again. By the way, I appreciate all the people that have moved over this way because I keep trying to talk to the camera and I'm aware that all the people are over here. So anyway, a lot of times if I'm doing the slit and drift a hole, I do the slit so I've got my location marked, then I go ahead and do all the drawing out I want to do before I finish the hole. So that's one end pulled out. Do the other bar. Just, yeah, let me square, and it's really a two-sided taper. It tapers this way and maybe a little bit this way, but I don't see it. We were talking before the meeting about the challenges of making more than one piece alike, and one of the best secrets I've found to doing that is that if you're making however many pieces alike, 2 in this case, you do an operation on one and then you do an operation on the next one. If I'm making drawer pulls, for instance, I'll line up half a dozen of them in a gas forge and draw one end. Okay, turn them all around and draw the other end. It's a lot. You may not be perfect, but you'll be a lot closer to being the same on all of them that way. And I keep finding out that if I'm not playing like I am here, you're always trying to do more than one the same. If you're making a coat hanger thing that goes on the wall, you need 3 or 4 hooks all the same. If you're making a set of fire tools, you'd like to have all the handles be the same. If you're making a grill, of course, you need, gee, how many scrolls are in one of those things? close am I here? Oh, not bad. Need to pull this one out a little farther. Meet there. Yeah. Not close, not quite as close as I'd like them to be. So what I'm looking at now is saying, okay, I've got a smooth taper here, which is what I want, but I've got some extra meat in it back up here that I can draw out to get more length out on the end. Another one of those points that just fascinates me about forging is that the term is constant volume process. And I don't know, 20 years ago, on one of those online forums that I read religiously at lunchtime every day, there was a smith on there who was always talking about the constant volume process. And the idea is that, yes, we know you can cut pieces off, you can weld pieces on, but whatever piece you start with is the same volume of what you end up with. So theoretically, you can heat up an anvil and make a bunch of nails, or you can start with a bunch of nails and make an anvil. But so in this case, I start with a round bar that's only so long, and I start pulling tapers out, and I wind up with a square tapered bar that's a whole lot longer and not the same as any of the other dimensions. It also makes a great chance when you're trying to figure out how much metal you should start with. You have a chance to try out some of that calculation stuff you did in school math classes that you were glad to be out of and never thought you'd use. There we go. I think I got more than I wanted there. Oh, I sure did. Well, there's a solution to that little problem too. We're just going to mark where that is and cut it off so they'll be even. Yeah. Now, really, when I'm going to be using these tongs out there on the grill, I am going to be a whole lot less worried about the equal weight of the two jaws than the fact that the potatoes were done 20 minutes ago and I forgot to start the corn, and this meat just isn't heating up as fast as I thought it should. It is. Took me a long time, but I finally figured out this doesn't work very well with, fish on the grill, but pork butt in the smoker. The big secret has turned out to be, well, let's see. I think this ought to take me about 12 hours, so I think I'll start the night before, and we can start on the sides when the meat comes out of the smoker. now that one's my model piece. I'm going to have to clean up that end a little bit. Okay, so there's one piece, and now I'm going to try to make the other piece look like it.
Which end of the piece is this going to be?
At this point, this end is shorter, this is longer, so the end that I just finished is going to be the handle. See, the first one I made was playtime. This one I'm trying to make it look sort of like that one. And eventually this is going to be one of those things that I make, and I'm going to have myself a little sketch and some dimensions, and it's going to start to be more about make it like I did the last one. Well, that's a possibility. How would we handle the drawing out part at Burritt?
I'm thinking we would start at 3/16.
Yeah. Come on, you guys are ready. Well, nice. There we go. Okay. Need about another inch. See that? So this is going to become one of those times. Now this one's going to get an inch. What's that?
Probably get enough to draw it out back in
Yeah. look at that. All right. That's close enough. I'm going to use it. Okay. Now, at least back here where the handle is, and I like a forged finish is really nice. That doesn't mean, you know, if you go online, you'll find forged finish knives which look like somebody ground out a knife and then beat the crap out of it with a ball peen hammer. That's not what I mean by forged finish. But, you know, subtle hammer marks, the nice smooth forged finish you get, I think that's really nice. Except that right now these bars are, the cross section is rectangular, and those edges can get kind of sharp. So at least out here on the handle end, I'm going to, I don't know how perfectly round I'll make them, but I'll at least knock off the corners. A little rounder would be nice.
Main thing to do is just get the sharp corners.
Yeah. When I'm making tong, you know, real blacksmith tongs, I don't know, my octagon seems to kind of be my preferred handle shape. I think it's some combination of when I get tired of messing with it and what actually feels right to me. Yep. Better already. Oh, good. David's coming to help with the rounding off part.
I'll help.
I'm just going along here and hitting wherever I see a sharp edge. All right, that'll be the handle end of that one. And we'll try to make the other one look like it. Might have been nice if I'd heated it where I wanted it. Yeah. Nice thing about thin sections, they heat fast. They also cool fast. Okay. Yeah. Now, let's go ahead and finish these holes. Oh my goodness. Hey, Travis, did you happen to have a little 1/4-inch drift? Mine didn't make it into the box today. That's it. Thank you. All right, we'll want these. Turn that around. Oh yeah, I'll need you to hold. I was just getting this, figuring out which end is which here. There we go. All right. Over the small hole.
Which hole?
Small one out here.
You tell me if you're lined up, because I don't know.
Okay, out this way a little bit. There we go. Okay, flip it over. Flip it over.
Flip it over?
Yeah. There we go. All right. Heat it up again.
Not holding real good on that.
No. I need the small tongs for the to hold on to the punch, wherever it went. There we go. Well, I don't know, we can try that the other way around. They're holding on pretty good. Oh yeah, go ahead.
I don't know if that'll hold it or not.
Yeah. Set these on. Yeah. Yeah, we're hot again.
Okay, and we're going to there. I'll let you line
Yep.
it up, buddy.
Right out towards me. There we go. There we go. Okay. Yep. Straighten out my bar.
That works.
And we have, voila, round hole. That look good on the screen? Oh, look. Here? Okay. Oh, yeah.
Second hole.
This one. There we go. Okay. All right, that's good. So we'll do the other hole. The good news is we are done with the long draws. We're back to the fun stuff. There's always, every project seems to run where you've got the, you start out and that part's fun, and then you have to do some long drawing out or spreading or something, and then you get back to the artsy stuff again. Just do that mark there. This is the bar with 2 marks on it. Be good if I use these.
Song where Steve Kane passed away.
What's that?
Kane and Sons.
Oh, yeah, yeah, it's,
Steve passed away.
yeah, I'm sorry, couldn't understand. Yeah, I think we're gonna need to open that hole up a little more. Here we go. Okay, flip it over. There we are. There's daylight. Okay.
Yep.
Feel better now.
Okay.
Yep. Just go back in the fire. I want that thing hot when I start trying to spread it out. Let's try that. Okay,
See, we got to line it up
right there.
best we can.
Okay, come to me a little. There we go.
Ah,
I think we're right. There, yeah. Okay, flip it over. Okay, Not sure where where the punch went. There it is. Yeah. Oh yeah, it's not through by any means. That's good. Yeah. There. All right.
Knock the sides back.
I feel like I'm starting to run people off. Yeah, to pick up the little, that punch is going to be hot now. Okay. We're going through on this one. Can feel it.
Okay, I'm gonna let you kind of line me up.
There we go. There we go.
All right.
All right. Yep, it landed in the tank too there.
Drop me your water.
All right. Now,
You gonna rivet it now?
no. Just making sure. Yeah, we're going to need to open them up just a little bit. Fortunately, I have a Fortunately, I have a tool for that. Somewhere here. There we go. All right. I misplaced something. I'm trying to remember where it is.
Right now, right?
Nope, that's not it.
See, that nothing heating.
No, I don't. There they are. All right, just put that one back in. Pardon me? Yeah. 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 Got a little tapered punch here that's just gonna. Hmm?
The slow part of the motor heats.
Yeah. On the one hand, you hope for questions to pass the time. On the other hand, you're glad nobody's talking so that you don't
Okay,
forget
where
what
do you
you're
wanna
doing. Little hole. There we go. Okay, turn it over.
Nope.
Yeah.
Shoot.
Okay.
Work, but
Good news. I bet the rivet fits now. Close.
need a little more.
Yep, afraid so. Don't need those right now. Yep. To there. There. I'll bet that'll do it now.
Turn it over.
Yep, there it is. It's good. Get these holes opened up, and then I'll make the blade and make the handle. Make the handle first, I think. Just for this opening up this one hole, yeah. Come on, you get hot.
What are you talking about making a rivet? I've got a pair of tongs. It's made in competition down at Tapering.
Mm-hmm.
We did there, made our own rivets.
Yeah. Yeah, I've got boxes of rivets from when I used to buy them, but my consumption has gone down dramatically over the years because I just cut off a length of whatever I want. And
A few things that buy rivets for kind of hard to make 1/16 inch rivets. You know?
yeah,
Keep them lined up.
there we go. Come out of there. Okay, flip it over. Flip it over. I bet that fit. There we go. Very good. Yep. All right. Now we're going to turn these around and make the handle first. Yeah, that way. Set that up there so it's just starting to get hot. Flatten that out a little better. Put my rivet away before I lose it again. All right. Okay. So there's the start of one handle. And again, I'm just down to where I want them to come out alike, so I'm doing one operation and then doing the same operation on the other bar. post. Similar to this one. Mostly because the problem I would have doing this with induction is the long tapers. Other than that, it would be fantastic. If I had my coal forge running at home, I probably would have used that because that's the when I have one, that's the playtime forge. All right. So where would I like to start this? About right there. About right there. Bend that around.
You're using the length of your hammerhead
I am.
to measure that.
Yeah, length of the hammerhead, and I usually like to talk about that because you run in real quick when you're doing this to needing to measure things while they're hot, and to that end, I know that this is 4 inches, this is 1.5 inches, and well, this anvil is 4 inches. My anvil is 5 inches. My horn is 7. My horn to the hardy hole, to this edge of the hardy hole, is 7.5, and so on. So just have to have things around the shop that I know how big they are, because besides the problem of burning up a tape measure, for some reason measuring tools just walk away. At least in my shop, I mean, every time like if I go to a flea market and there's steel rules, or if Woodcraft has a sale, buy a handful of them. I figure if I spread enough of them around, there's a chance that I can find one. Yeah. Oh, yeah. Come on, get off. There. Of course, when you're making a bunch of them, your first one becomes the measuring stick to make all the others the same. I've made enough of those little pass-through trivets now that I just have one of the legs for the trivet that, when I can find it, has a place, so it's there to be my model. And I stamp or mark or do something to little pieces like that so that they won't go and get used for something else. All right. There. All right. Now I can turn them around and do the jaws. And what I'm going to be thinking while I'm doing the jaws, whenever we talk about making blacksmith tongs, we say make both sides the same. They come out okay when you flip them over. These will come out okay even if I turn them the wrong way, but it goes against me somehow to make them different. So what I'm going to be thinking when I come out and start folding this is, doesn't really matter which way I go, but I need to be the same. So I'm going to come out and say, okay, handle loop goes to my right, bend down. Yeah. Yeah. There we go. So, handle to the right, step out about that far, bend down, bend over, about like that. And if those don't look like the right jaws yet, just hold on a minute. Maybe more than a minute. Hmm? Far about right there. Come back over here. Do that. Bend over. Bend that down. Get them closed about like so. Close enough. Okay, now we get to the part where those are going to start looking a little more like the spatula shape. The last big fun part of the project, you go over to the power hammer and just really pound on something. It's odd, you know, I don't watch that much blacksmith YouTube. I watch a lot of machine shop YouTube. And there, I know that apparently, just going by what guys show, the fun thing on there is to take the biggest lathe you have and hog off a lot of material. That's the jaw shape we got to. I had in mind that I felt like those spread farther than I wanted them to. These maybe didn't spread quite as far as I wanted. So I'll probably make these again, play with that a little more. This way, back that way, okay. Yeah. Okay, so we'll do that and that.
Spread this more?
No. They're already, they're thin at the end, so I don't have a lot more spreading I can do there. You know, it was, this all started out as playtime 2 days ago, so we'll see if it turns into a product, and by the time a half a dozen of them show up on a table somewhere there, I will have figured out how wide I really want that jaw to be.
What you did there was put 290, so.
Yeah, yeah. Let's see, that way is going to go like this, yeah. Need to get it hot up farther. Over the years, I've noticed this big difference when I make tongs, that I used to get get the shape reasonably close and rivet them together and then adjust everything. And I keep going more and more towards let's get all the shape right before I rivet them. So I want to do a little bit. And then bend that down a little more. Come on, you bend. That might be about right. Oh, I went the wrong way. No, I did go the right way. Just needed to go a little more of it. Okay. Okay. No, no, skip that. Try to skip that part. Flip that over. Check that out. Okay. All right. Well, I need to go shorten that rivet on the grinder a little bit.
Yeah.
It's become, well, I guess it's not hot, so I could touch it. Well, actually I can't. Tongs are hot. Okay.
Didn't take long to look at them.
No, that's quick, wasn't it? Let's see, is there a vent I'm supposed to turn on first here? Yeah. there. Now this, right.
But you had it and lost it.
Yep, there we go. All right. Yeah. Here we go. We turn it this, tilt it this way a little bit. Oh boy.
Oh, take your hammer and just hit your top and drive it. No, don't hit the rivet. Hit the tongue
Yeah.
piece.
Oh.
Hit the tongue piece.
Here?
Yeah, see if you can just drive it there. There you go. Now do the other side.
Yeah.
Hammer, it's still not.
Oh, here. Yeah. There we go. I loosened it up a lot.
Well,
Nope.
I thought for sure that would do it.
I think that'll. Here, I think. Yeah, I think that's getting closer.
Sure you gotta go ahead and set the rivet and flatten all the way down and then loosen it up.
closer. Remember, Uncle Bill used to say that some of us were just put here to be an example to others. What's that?
You're always a bad example.
He thought so. That's not going to help much. Come on, there you go. Well, let's just leave that for a minute. Hmm? That's pretty good. Okay, there's where we are. There's okay. There we go. Yeah, I usually, sorry, get back here. I usually season cooking tools just like cast iron skillet, you know, wipe some oil on, heat them up, wipe a little more oil, heat them up again. And over time, you know, the handles develop shiny spots. And one of the things I do think about a lot when I do cooking tools is that somebody's going to have to wash the things, which makes me shy away from don't do twists, or in the case of this handle, for example, I could have done something really neat with the blade by twisting them together and then flattening them out, but that would have left me with a whole bunch of little cracks that you'd never have been able to get the grease out of. So I try to vegetable oil, yeah, olive oil, peanut oil, not motor oil. Never tried it. Might be. But
Probably use spray canola.
yeah, at least I got the loops out here loosened up enough that my knuckles aren't rubbing on them anymore.
That's good, Steve.
Very good. At least I'm happy with them.
Good job.
There we go.